Hey YouTubers, today we're going to teach you how to build your own depop box. First, you need to consider what kind of material you're going to be working with. You don't really want to use this on big boards and things like that, but it works good for ram sticks and smaller boards. For boards like this, motherboards and whatever else, I tend to cherry pick off the things I want, or I completely depopulate them in a different process. So I don't use this for these, I just use them for my smaller boards that I need to get cleaned off. You're just going to need to find a few things first, and I'm sure it's around everybody's household. You're going to need some nails. I know I got some other ones, but you can find any nails to use, pretty much. This is just simple, cheap, free. Then you're going to need a mat of some kind. Just a piece of carpet to line the bottom so it holds the back of the boards. Because some boards, well, not this one, but some RAM boards, have things on the back, and it'll help hold it in place when you're doing this. These guys are kind of pokey on the back, and so yeah, it just holds it down. So a piece of carpet. I've seen people use this. It lines shelves. I've noticed it just shreds up after a little while and makes a mess. So I prefer carpet, but I stay away from my wife's carpet. I learned that lesson. Don't go cut a chunk out of your living room or anything like that. I'm sure you got a piece of carpet somewhere else. Just don't do that. So I have this wood. I don't want to say I'm lazy, maybe more resourceful. So there was an old shelf, and it just so happens all these pieces are going to just fit nicely. You stand them up, and you make a box around it. I mean, exactly what the name states, you just make a little box. So we're going to put this together, and we'll be right back. So you can see it's starting to take shape, and we're about ready to put the lid on here. And normally you just, you go and you put your lid on and you nail it on there however you want. But part of the name of the game is multi-use on your tools and stuff. So I'm going to try to see if I can't make this a little more functional for other things as well. And we'll be right back. I went and pre-drilled a couple holes on either side of the back of the box, on each side where the lid's going to go. And we're going to put some roofing nails in there, kind of work as a hinge, and let's see how that works. Okay, so we got the lid put on, and I wasn't sure why I would need the feature of being able to open up the lid until I started to go to look inside. And if you look inside, it's pretty dark. So once we put our carpet in there, for me at least, to be able to show you guys what's going on, it's going to be easier for me to open up the lid. But when I'm doing it by myself and just going through boards, I'm going to be able to put it down so that I can just go to town and everything collects inside the box. So I have this chunk of carpet. It's a nice carpet, and I was using it just as is. But things were going all over the place, and part of it is, not losing any of your gold. You're working hard to get it. Why should it go flying across your shop and everything else? So I want to cut this carpet down to fit in the box. But I also like to be able to use things more than once in different areas. So if I cut it down like this and take the rubber off the side of it, I'll still be able to use it for my sluice box. So now that you have your carpet in there, you can start going to town, depopulating. Yeah, that looks pretty tiny in there. I know, we're just going to use that for an example. I made my depopulation box for my requirements. But that just goes to show you can make a really small one if that's all the area you have to work with. Now you have a couple choices. Everybody has their own flavor. Everybody has their own way to do it. Some people like chisels. Some people like paint scrapers. I don't like these because the blades are flimsy. They come flying at you, especially if you're sitting around doing it in your house or something. I don't know. A really good stiff putty knife works nice. The bigger ones are a little more flimsy. I don't know. A good old-fashioned old one looks nice to me. And also, I have this. Now, I worked at a bakery for quite a while, and also I was a cook and everything else, and I really like these. So I really have high hopes this is going to work. But again, I do everything for free, and somebody knew I was going to make this video, and they wanted to see what this was going to do and if it worked. So they sent it in to me. They didn't want me to say their name, so that's fine. That's great. You know who you are. And yeah, I'm going to appreciate this because I'm pretty sure this is going to be my go-to. All right, guys, we're going to give this a shot. But first, make sure you put your safety glasses on because there's lots of little teeny tiny things that go flying everywhere. And trust me, there ain't enough gold in this thing to pay for your emergency room, especially if you live in America. Nothing against it. I'm just saying. So let's just give her a go and see what happens. Yeah, okay, let's try something else. Random screw bucket to the rescue. Always got to have a random screw bucket laying around. You never know when you're going to need some of that. I don't let it fill up too much. And there's all kinds of stuff in there, but you never know. So I put 2 screws on my workbench. And I actually ended up using some of this too. It has its purpose, I guess, in this. So it's going to keep it from sliding around, I hope. Because I'm still trying to do this one-handed so we get a shot for you guys. I might not be able to do it like that. We'll see. Alright guys, let's see if I can do this one-handed on film here. So the chisel's working pretty good. I know you can't quite see it. But if you give her a little rocking motion here, pulls all the little BGAs off and everything. Kind of stay away from the gold the best you can, but it's working. Let's see. So it takes it off. It's a little ugly, but hey, if you got limited space and you got roommates or wives or children or husbands and you're not really wanting to run a big air hammer or anything like that, then yeah, that absolutely works. Absolutely. Start back here first, I suppose. Takes it all right off of there. So, yeah, and for me, all that stuff is just going to get collected and is going to end up going into a big batch where I'm just going to process it. Other people, if you're going to sell it, I don't know if this is going to work for you, but I mean, they do take them off, and those are BGAs, little RAM BGAs, and you collect up enough of them, and that's where gold is. So yeah, it works. And now you just go and you snip off the end and throw that in your stock pot. So that's one way you can depopulate your boards. There's many other ways you can do it, but if this works for your situation and for you, then by all means, I hope I helped you along on your e-waste journey. I'm going through mine as we speak. Every day I'm learning something new. So if you learned something new here today, then I hope you go over to my channel, check it out, hit that subscribe button, and we can learn together. If my wife is watching, I love you. If my kids are watching, go wash your face.